Good Thursday, family and friends, and happy Easter again, because we are still within the Easter festival for a couple more weeks. And it's always a joyous time for any parish when we celebrate Easter for such a long 50-day period with all the things that happen during the Easter festival. And this weekend, we begin with the celebrations of First Holy Communion. First Holy Communions will be celebrated this weekend, May 6 and 7, and the following weekend, May 13 and 14, here at Our Lady of the Valley. So at the Masses on Saturday evening and Sunday, as you know, the first couple of rows will be reserved for the first communicants and their families in the front of the church. And so we ask you to be respectful of that and also make adjustments. I know everyone has their favorite seat they like to sit in, but we have to keep the first several rows on either side for the first communicants and their families. And I say First Communion is a wonderful celebration in any parish. And I love the celebrations of First Communion. And it brings back memories of my own. Granted, it was a long time ago, and First Communions were done differently back then. I remember I received my first Holy Communion at St. Aloysius Church in Caldwell, because we were living in West Caldwell. And it was done on a Saturday morning. And there was only one celebration for the entire parish. And back then, there were a lot of us in both the Catholic school and the public school. I don't know why I remember these things, but on the boys' side, I was number 77 in line. We were all arranged by height, so there were even boys behind me. And I also remember what I wore that day, because all the boys were dressed alike and all the girls were dressed alike. I was wearing blue trousers, a white shirt, a white tie, a white jacket, white buck shoes, and all the boys had a white carnation. And all the girls had the exact same dress with the exact same shoes and the exact same veil. But it's strange, the things that we remember from our childhood. But I said First Communions are wonderful celebrations in any parish, in every parish, regardless of how we celebrate them, whether it's a separate Mass or even at all the Sunday Eucharists, which is really, I think, is the most appropriate way to celebrate it. So we congratulate those who will be receiving their First Holy Communions these next 2 weekends, and we wish them well with their parents and family and friends who will gather around them on that day. As I said, First Communions are such a wonderful time in any parish, particularly during the Easter season. And then after we finish with our First Holy Communions, we move right into our annual festival. The festival this year will run from Tuesday, May 16th to Sunday, May 21st, right here on the grounds at Our Lady of the Valley. And I know you've been praying for good weather. I've been praying for good weather, so we can have all the rain this week and next week to get it out of the way in time for the festival. But most importantly, we are still in need of many, many volunteers to help us during the week of the festival with the game booths and so forth, and all the other things that are involved. So if you have not had a chance to pick up one of the forms, the volunteer forms that are here available in church, please pick one up, fill it out, and get it back to us as soon as possible, or simply call over to the parish offices and we can take the information over the phone. But we really need more volunteers to assist us for that week. But also with the festival is our 50-50 raffle, and right now it's up to almost $11,000. So make sure you get your raffle books back, and let's see how high we can get it before the festival begins. But you know, many people wait to the festival to buy their tickets because they want to see what the number is, and so we want to get it up as high as possible to begin the festival, and then get it even up higher during the festival. Also, a couple of other things to remind you of. This past weekend, the Knights of Columbus announced their annual scholarship for seniors graduating high school for college, the $3,000 scholarship. There are forms available in church, but you have to fill out the application online, and all that information is on the forms here in the church. You can pick one up, and this is for graduating seniors going on to college. And it's a wonderful thing that our Knights of Columbus do, offering these 2 scholarships each year for seniors here at Our Lady of the Valley and Holy Cross. So if that applies to you, it's worth applying for and taking a shot. So pick up the forms and fill them out online through the Knights of Columbus website. Also moving forward, our former pastor here, Father Dan Murphy, this year is celebrating his 50th anniversary of his ordination to the priesthood. And he's having a celebration on June 25th at St. Matthew the Apostle Parish in Randolph, with a reception following at Resurrection Parish in Randolph. And in the church this weekend, there are these yellow forms giving information about that and who to send the ticket requests to and so forth. So you can pick them up this weekend as well. That will be the end of June, so you have plenty of time. But seating is limited at both places, so if you are interested in going, make sure you get something in as soon as possible. You know, next week, on Monday, May 8th, it's a special day for us in the Diocese of Paterson, in fact, for the entire state of New Jersey. Monday, May 8th is the feast day of Blessed Miriam Teresa Demjanovich. She was a Sister of Charity of St. Elizabeth at Convent Station in our own Diocese of Paterson, and she died in 1927 on May 8th, and she was beatified on October 4th, 2014, at the Cathedral of the Sacred Heart in Newark. Hers was the very first beatification that took place here in the United States, and so we're honored that she is one of our own. Normally, the beatification would have taken place at our Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Paterson, but our cathedral was undergoing renovation at the time, and so we beautifully moved it to Sacred Heart Basilica Cathedral in Newark, and actually their cathedral holds more people, so it worked out fine. But she is one of our own. And in the past, when I've talked about the saints to say how they're categorized and so forth for different countries and areas, it's interesting. Her feast day, May 8th, is only celebrated here in the state of New Jersey at the current time. Once she gets canonized, then her feast day will spread to the entire United States. And when I say canonization, that's when she'll be declared a saint, and we're already investigating possible miracles for that canonization. As you know, one miracle was needed for beatification, and a second miracle is needed for canonization, and we are already investigating one or two that possibly. It would be so nice to be able to hopefully canonize her a saint on the 100th anniversary of her birth, which would be 2027. So we invite you to pray to Miriam Teresa, ask her intercession. In fact, there's a picture of her that's in the front vestibule of our church here on the side wall. I put that there because I have great devotion to Miriam Teresa and because of my connection to the Sisters of Charity of St. Elizabeth at Convent Station. So that'll be a wonderful time for us in the state of New Jersey this coming Monday as we celebrate the feast of Blessed Miriam Teresa Demjanovich. Enjoy the rest of this week. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend at our celebrations of First Holy Communion, and continue to pray for good weather for our festival. Thanks for listening.